All right, enough Arsenal. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Real Madrid fallen Athletic del Bilbao as Kylian Mbappe misses yet another penalty. Jules?
Yeah. I mean, when I saw him taking it, I was like, please, just score this one, please. And I even thought, just don't hit it like you did against Liverpool, because his two misses in two, obviously now. He took exactly the same way than against Liverpool, the same run-up, the same side of his foot, the same side for the goalkeeper, who, by the way, said that he'd watched the penalty against Liverpool and he felt he's going to put it the same place, and he exactly did, so he guessed the right way.
I think the difference is he seemed to look up this time as he was taking the penalty to see where the keeper was.
Yeah, but again, he moved late.
Like, if you look up and the keeper's not moving, you don't really learn anything.
Yeah.
So then you have to actually hit it properly.
And react to it. I don't know. I mean, I think the Valverde mistake on the winning goal from Athletic Club de Bilbao is probably as bad as the penalty miss, because he should not try to not make someone in the last third of his own half. This is ridiculous. And Real Madrid were not good. They just were not good. It's 5 defeats in the last 11. They lost 5 in their previous 73 games or 74 games. But that's how bad this is.
Turn it around, put the scored penalty, take away the Valverde mistake, and they win this game. That's all I'm gonna. That's. I know that's not how it works.
You don't know if they win the game at 1-1 after the. If Kylian scored the penalty, it's 1-1. Why would they win the game?
Well, they lost the game 2-1, right? So clearly, if Valverde,
so maybe they have it. Yeah, but maybe they.
No, I know. But I'm saying
I don't think they played well enough against a good team away from home.
That's what I mean. But they weren't terrible either. Is what I'm driving at. They paid a hefty price for 2 mistakes. Also, Mbappe 12 misses in 57 attempts, according to La Liga TV. I heard this last night. That's a really high percentage even before this.
And he left the penalty to Bellingham against Getafe. I don't know why he took this one. I really don't. And speaking of Athletic Club de Bilbao, Gab, they're 4th in the table now and have lost just once since August in all competitions. We know the Europa League is their big priority because the final is at San Mamés. But are we underrating them a little bit so far?
I mean, the gap is still big with the top of the table, but obviously we've seen inconsistencies from Barcelona, from Real Madrid, and injuries from Real Madrid and from Barcelona earlier in the year. And Atletico, you never know what you're going to get. So I think they would need to get a really good run. Like you said, I think the Europa League is very obviously their priority. They're a unique club. I think they're solidly top 4. We should give them love when we don't talk about them enough, and I'm guilty about that. But in terms of getting into the title race, I think that's a step too far.
I agree.
Manchester City win their first game in 7 as they beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. Kevin De Bruyne makes his first start in ages and scores. Jules, are they back?
I wish I could say that, because on paper, if you just look at the result, it's 3-0 against a team that not that long ago was a good team and 3rd in the table, which is not the case anymore. But they scored early, and after that, Forest had 2 massive chances to come back into the game, and they could easily have done so. So they gave away chances again. But with the board, in terms of creativity and having De Bruyne in your team, even if he's not 100% fit, he said that himself after the game. He still has problem in his back and his body, and he's getting old, obviously, now. It was much better, much more fluid. He helped that Grealish played and a bit more central, that Doku was there. And they're not back just yet, but this is a massive win for them.
Let me tell you who's not back, Ederson.
Good save
which
by Ortega.
is kind of weird, to me at least. Doku makes so much of a difference, and this brings you back to the weekend. Why I don't get that. And the only thing I would say is you don't want to be counting on Jack Grealish.
Or Kevin De Bruyne either. He's not fit enough right now to play 74 minutes.
But I think it's good that we got to see him.
Yeah, definitely.
And if I get 45 minutes of De Bruyne, he can make a difference for me.
Yeah, for sure. Milan destroys Sassuolo in the Coppa d'Italia 6-1 to advance to the quarterfinals. Gab, the B team showed up for Fonseca.
Yeah, against Serie B.
But top of the table, Fabio Grosso, Sassuolo.
I know. Oh, Fabio Grosso. Wait, what is he famous for? 2006? Yeah.
No, I was more thinking about Lyon and his time with John Textor, our friend.
All right. No, look, this is good. He got to rest his players. They maintain the same mentality. Everybody except for Tijani Reinders, who scored a tremendous goal and who is absolutely ridiculous.
He's like Robocop, the guy plays all the time.
And Leao, who of course needs the minutes to keep the smile on his face. But no, this is good. They got the response they wanted. The bandwagon rolls on. I want to see if these guys can step in for the regulars. I'm talking about people like Chukwueze, like Tammy Abraham, like Ruben Loftus-Cheek. You're going to need these guys later on. So is this an indication? If you're a Milan fan, you hope so. It's time! It's time! It's Textor time! Jules, he's rightly basking in the well-deserved Copa Libertadores glory with Botafogo. He may have some Brazilian Serie A glory soon, winning the double. But there's a social media post purporting to be from him. Now, I say purporting because I wasn't able to check this. I didn't spend that much time on it because I really don't care that much. But so I don't know if this is real. However, it was retweeted by Fabrizio Romano. And as we know from transfers, they only become real after Fab retweets them.
Exactly.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. John Textor, we saw the celebration, amazing, for the trophy parade. And basically he said, why do I always try to be available? You know, I was chosen on LinkedIn to own Botafogo, which I'm not even sure what that means. And then he said that
the people from Botafogo reached out to him via LinkedIn.
I'm sure.
Maybe.
And he found Thiago Almada on Twitter. Somebody apparently said to him, hey, you should check this guy, he's very good, when a lot of people are known about how good Thiago Almada was.
They screenshotted a conversation from like 4 years ago when he was at Atlanta United and sort of saying like, hey, this guy's really good. I'd like Textor, or again, we don't know if it's really him. If
we don't know.
Think it
might not be.
But Textor's like, thanks, I'll check him out. But whatever,
exactly.
He's having fun with it. We're having fun with it.
What a genius he is, hey? Gab, not such great news, obviously, but Helmut Duckadam has passed away. Many listeners may not know who he is, but he's worth remembering.
Yeah, he's worth remembering. If you're of a certain generation, you basically remember him from one game.
Especially, yeah.
And this is, like, it was a different world in the 80s. I was a small child. It was a big deal, the European Cup final. It was Barcelona against Steaua Bucharest. This was a great Barcelona side. You had Marcos Alonso, the dad of the guy who ran down the wing for you.
Exactly.
And the son of the other guy, who was also a really good footballer. You had Bernd Schuster, you had Carrasco, you had Alessandro, you had Julio Alberto. And they were overwhelming favorites against the Steaua Bucharest side, who had lost George Hagi by that point.
1986, that was.
1985-86 season, yeah. And you saw the most unbelievable goalkeeping performance to this day of this guy, Duckadam, who saves everything. Comes
4 pens,
goes to penalties, 4 straight penalty saves.
Incredible.
And then the story took a bizarre turn, a sad turn after that.
Yeah.
He kind of disappeared from view. I don't think he played again the following season for Steaua Bucharest. For 3 years, he didn't play again. The story that came out at the time was that he was an activist against the government. Back then, it was Nicolae Ceausescu. Romania was an authoritarian communist government at the time. And then he had been attacked by the police. They had broken his hands to punish him. Instead, it seems, according to Wikipedia anyway, that according to more credible reports, he developed some rare blood disease, which kept him out. Again, some people say maybe he was poisoned because of his stance. Came back, played a couple seasons, then later worked as he was like a colonel in the Romanian border service.
Right.
I kind of feel like those are the kind of characters that change the course of football or change the course of Barcelona history back then that you probably couldn't get today because we would know everything about them before first of all, Steaua Bucharest probably wouldn't get to the Champions League final.
Yeah.
We would know everything about them beforehand and afterwards, and everything would be chronicled. Whereas back then, Iron Curtain, baby, you didn't know what was happening behind it. So anyway, rest in peace, Helmut Duckadam, because to many of us, we remember your name and we're not going to forget.